What's up, everybody? Nightwolf here, and welcome back to Mechs of the Roundtable. We have today Magnus Supreme.
It's Detective Supreme.
And Sananju.
I'm afraid of bears.
Oh, God.
No, not the bears.
Not Monokuma. Oh, wait. He's appropriately to be afraid of.
It is appropriate to be afraid of bears.
Butter.
So, I really couldn't find a whole lot today, or for the last few days. There are a few things that we're going to talk about. Particularly one that involves gunpla, which we haven't really touched that much of on the podcast. We also got a trailer that we're going to talk about, and we may discuss other things. I have one thing that I was going to do, which I think might be fun. We'll see. We'll see if time will allow it. But do you guys want to start with the Gunpla Expo?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Well, Sananju, you had something that you wanted to start off with. Why don't you start?
Yes. As someone who builds gunpla as their main hobby, I found this tip to be very useful. Some people out there have ordered kits and have complained about certain coatings that come on them. I know one big one is the Master Grade Phoenix.
Yeah.
Has the metal coating, as does older models of the Hayakushiki.
Gold plastic syndrome.
Yeah.
You
The
know that
Delta
stuff
Plus
never
or
really
Delta
top
Gundam.
coat.
Yeah.
It's just at least
Well, that's
fingerprints
a
in it
problem
everywhere.
with old Transformers like Predaking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So all that, like, that metallic kind of covering and whatnot. So there's actually a way to get that off so you don't have to sand and damage the plastic. And it's actually really simple. Just go down to your local grocery store, pick up a bottle of Purple Power, this cleaning solution,
Huh.
all the runners or the parts, and just submerge them in there for a while. And it will strip it off without damaging the plastic underneath.
Wow. Well, that's good to know.
Yes, a lot of people don't really like those coatings. I am honestly not a fan of them. I know I wanted to get the titanium Master Grade Sananju, which costs way more than it should.
Yeah.
But really, it's just so simple as just painting it yourself, and you oftentimes even get a better finish by doing it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. My opinion on gold and just chrome toys in general is that it's kind of tacky.
Very much so.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just don't like the shininess, and it kind of like in my shelf I can think it doesn't fit with all these unshiny base coated ones.
Yeah, it's like it threw on some jewelry that just doesn't match the outfit.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Like if you have any ones that have that, you just want to get rid of it, just gold, just rub some of that on there and just take a brush and just do it yourself.
That's a good thing to know.
Have they announced a Master Grade Tryon 3 yet?
No.
Why not?
That's I just think that I don't know if they're gonna really make a steady line of build fighters Master Grades anymore at this point, considering the series is over. I mean, it's possible. We've seen variations like the Fenice Reticida Alba.
Yeah.
Which is another kit which is ridiculously expensive for basically just a repaint. So if anyone out there wants it, just buy the regular one and paint it yourself.
Okay, if just to say this, if they make a Super Fumi Master Grade, I'm gonna go punch somebody in the dick.
And you know what? I wouldn't blame you, but I also I'm so mixed on that kit because, well, one, it's not for me. I'm not into the whole the whole little girl thing like this. I would be embarrassed if someone walked into my room and saw that and they'd think I'm some kind of weird pervert.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's definitely not for me.
I mean, it's one thing if you have a figure of certain characters and whatnot, but that's a whole new thing that I don't even know.
That's some real.
I mean, it was disturbing in the show. It made everybody cringe. So
real weeaboo.
Yeah.
Things right there. So definitely not for me. I have to give it credit for breaking the mold of what Gunpla has been.
Yeah.
But even still, it's just not.
Yeah,
I'm not going to shame anyone who buys it though. You want to buy? I know my friend saw it, and he was like, "Dude, I need to get in on that." I'm like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, for real." I'm like, "All right, man. That's your thing. Whatever."
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, sure. If compared to animated women from Gundam, Fumina is like mid-tier, in my opinion.
What the heck?
Because nobody can defeat. Nobody on the list can defeat 4, in my opinion.
Well, is that what we're gonna devolve into?
Except for
Who our
Marita.
new waifu is.
No, it's always one of those funniest things to me. Because some people with like Fire Emblem Awakening, everybody always asked me when I told friends I was playing, it's like, "Oh, who'd you pick to marry?" I was like, "Is that really important?"
I always ask people that when they're playing Dragon Age and stuff, who they romanced, because I do all the romances.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a gay dwarf to romance the gay mage, because the gay mage is like the coolest dude ever.
Interesting. Well, it was weird when you mention like who it was you pursued in stuff like Fire Emblem and whatnot, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was a horrible decision." It's like, why was it a horrible decision? I made the judgment call, not you. That always is like
Kind of like me playing Persona 4 Portable.
Yeah.
I just chose to go with Shinji because I got to be the girl, and I found out that Shinji had like the best social link that wasn't available to the male character at all.
Yeah. Okay.
You find out he's not a douchebag. He's like this guy that cares for everybody.
Anyway, I guess that was a bit off topic. Anyway, moving on. We saw a lot of stuff at the Gunpla Expo. The one thing that I found that was really interesting was the the moving RX-78.
Yeah, that was pretty
That
cool.
was awesome.
I don't even want to imagine what the price tag's going to look like.
I don't think that was really anything that'd be on sale. I think that was a small demonstration of what they want to do in 2019 with having the 1/1 scale move.
That could be it. But it
Yeah,
did say
they
the
just want to
future
show-
of Gunpla, though, so...
Yeah, I mean, I think they were just using Gunpla as an example, saying like, "Hey, this is what we're trying to aim for."
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to make like a real life build fighters. That would be
It'd be interesting.
Honestly, something like that is not out of the realm of possibility at all, especially if you made it like, I don't know, look at Amiibos, for example.
Yeah.
You could have something where
yeah.
your Gunpla stands on a base, it does an overall scan of it. It shows like, okay, you have, as long as you use like official Bandai parts or anything that's in the shape of it or whatever, because whatever, and it'll be like, okay, is this the thing that you've confirmed? You can confirm what parts you have. It goes over to, let's say, like a referee or something who confirms like, okay, these parts work, and then it could all be played out in a simulation. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and I would not be shocked at all if it was implemented in maybe the next 10 years or so.
Yep.
Yeah. People would buy that up, especially if they did like an RPG aspect to it.
Well, they already have that. It's called Gundam Breaker.
No, I mean like where you like can actually end up earning like. Eventually, you can like if you beat enough people in battle, you can earn like mod kits and stuff from the company.
You mean like in a tournament of some sort? Yeah. Okay. That would work. That makes sense.
I
What
like
else?
that MG Barbados or
It's not
whatever
an
those
MG.
other Gundams that they were showing off that weren't named, that were classified unknown.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but none of
I
those
want those.
1/100s are master grades.
Nope, they're just a 1/100, and they're doing a new kind of thing where it has a basic inner frame, and the armor plating is interchangeable with expansion kits they're going to release.
Yeah. Of course, they did have the what
The
was it?
giant thing with the hammer that I keep forgetting its name.
I forgot. Darn it.
Honestly, I'm just mad that the 1/100 Barbatos does not come with the mace. That'll probably be sold separately, or, which I assume is going to happen regardless, someone is going to make a resin cast of that, and me being the impatient bastard I am, will probably just go on eBay and try to find that.
Yeah.
So
That would be a problem.
Yeah, that's weird. Why don't they just make a bigger version of the mace shield?
Just sell
Because
expansion.
really, that's what it's
Just sell
sounding
market
like. Is
one.
that they're just expanding the parts.
it's all marketing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's an attempt to make more money. Of course, as companies, they have to make money somehow. I mean, Bill...
they make profit, though.
You know, I'm gonna level with you guys sometime. Now, sometimes between Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Gundam, I think Bandai sometimes has the worst marketing, or the most evil, or the most ingenious and evil, where they're like, "Hey, you want this, right? You want this thing from the show, right? Well, you gotta buy the." Oh God, I forgot to silence my phone. Now what was I saying? I was saying where they're like, okay, you have this upgrade part for your system, but usually in Kamen Rider Sentai, it comes with an external like piece to do transformation with, and then it comes with the weapon. And sometimes they make the weapon and part to use the weapon come separately,
Yeah.
which kind of irks me a lot. I'm like, this is kind of evil, you know.
Well, Bandai does have a nasty habit of not really giving a crap. I mean, my biggest complaint with them when it comes to, like, model kits, mainly, not so much toys, is the premium Bandai stuff.
Especially what they
Bandai
pull from
sucks on
Ultron.
all sides.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Sinanju?
Especially what they pull with the Ultron.
Yeah, well, my biggest complaint was, like, the Master Grade of Tolgeese 3. I would
That too.
love to have a Tolgeese 3. Or at least be
You're better
given
off
a
just getting the
kit.
Dragon Momoko knockoff. Let me tell you this for someone who had it. I say had because it was destroyed on me, which is a very bad story I will not get into right now. But let me tell you this right now. If you play with it, like sand and add glue and stuff to some certain areas, it actually is a pretty decent kit. So if you want to just go for that, go for that. Me personally, I'm not going to spend the money again. I'm just going to get the 1/100 high grade, buy some water slides, make it, add some paint, make it look nice. And in my drawer right next to me, I actually have a 1/100 Ultron that is being painted right now. It's starting to look really nice. And what I'm going to do is swap out this backpack here on the back and buy the 1/100 TV version Ultron, put the backpack on with the wings and the scorpion tail, and pretty much make the Glory of the Losers version for a fraction of the cost.
Wow.
So Bandai suck it.
I have a mini rant about these exclusive parts.
Yeah.
You guys all know the 30th anniversary edition of the RX-78 came with the Gundam hammer with an actual chain. And you have to special order the Gundam hammer through some magazine for this, the 35th anniversary, and it doesn't even, and it's just a chain stick with a ball on the end of it.
Hmm.
This time. That
Well,
irks me, because this is a big anniversary.
Yeah.
Bandai's been good on their 35th anniversaries lately.
Well, in my
In
opinion,
America, not good with
you
what
gotta fight
their
back.
20th anniversary project for Power Rangers. Then again, up yours, Nickelodeon.
Just don't
Okay.
fall for it. Like
Yeah.
with those parts you're talking about, with that expansion kit for the ARC 78-2. You wouldn't believe how many people will make bootlegs and they're of decent quality. So I know that the Wing Zero Seraphim wings for the base that came out, that Bandai released for the, what was it, the real grade? Yeah, the real grade.
Yeah.
Ended up costing like $40 now. Same with the Moonlight Butterfly for the Master Grade Turn A and Turn X.
Which
Go
I
on
could
eBay,
make
search
one of
it up,
those.
scroll down for a while. You'll find a knockoff that's a fraction of the cost, and the quality is
It's a
nearly
piece
on
of glitter
par.
paper covered in paper. It's like a piece of glitter paper sandwiched between two other pieces of paper. I could make that for like $5 at
Yeah, or just make your own. But if you have to go out, like, you know, like for like the Seraphim things, I found those for $15. It was made by another company. Same with the Wing Gundam Zero Hono custom parts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I found them for $6 from another company who just made the same mold. You know,
Huh.
you don't have to spend the extra money if you don't want to. If these companies want to do that and they want to charge like an exorbitant amount of money for something that simple,
Yeah.
vote with your wallet. Be like, okay, I'm not even going to participate in that. This
Yeah.
other company will make the same part that I'm looking for much cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and then
true.
they'll get an idea that they're not selling it. People will be like, okay, well, maybe we should change up the strategy. But that's if enough people do it. Right now, enough people are pretty Bandai loyalists, or this applies for most companies in general. And
Yeah.
you just can't buy into a business practice that you don't agree with. Do I agree with, like, do I necessarily have a problem with premium Bandai? Not necessarily. Sometimes if it's a kit that they know they can't, like the Master Grade Heavy Gundam. Was I okay with that being premium Bandai? Yeah, sure, why not? It's not super popular, and if you really want to do it, sure, just
Yeah.
release it. But with the Ultron EW, something that people really know, for them to do that,
Yeah.
with the tall geeses having the same similar frame, and you know they'll sell, to make those premium Bandai, probably not the best thing to do. It really should just be for kits that, okay, they probably can't sell normally, but if there's enough demand,
Like if you're gonna
sure.
make I'm gonna say this, if you're gonna make perfect grade Phoenix Gundam Phoenix,
Mhm.
that could go P Bandai, because
I
that's
would
the
assume
one
that
that you're
would-
gonna want. P Bandai, all metallic and everything.
Now that I was thinking about
That
it,
would look beautiful.
what you could potentially do for Tallgeese 3, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you could take the non-grade 1/100 and put those parts with the 1/100 Master Grade Tallgeese,
You could do that.
the
I've read
EW
up about
version.
It doesn't look right. The proportions are weird. The
Oh.
Dragon Loco one that I bought, it works fine. It also comes with a heated up whip.
Oh, yeah.
Which the Bandai one does not come with. So you get that transparent orange plastic, which is nice. And it also comes with some very nice water slides.
So should
So-
we discuss the other model kits that are gonna get released that aren't from that are from like the Revive line and such?
Well, the two revives that were coming out
'Cause I know
are...
they announced Gian.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cubule, the Mark II.
Those two are coming. The Cubule and the Mark II are coming very soon. I think it's within the next month.
Cubile, Mark II, Guth,
They're coming like in December,
Gian
I think.
got announced.
Yeah.
And I
Well-
kind of want the Gian just so I can get the variable parts, variable pod parts, because there hasn't been a Gian released in forever. So
Well, one of the other ones that was announced was the Force Impulse as well. For Gundam Seed. I've considered getting an Impulse Gundam for a while, and if the Revive is any good, I might get that one. The Force Impulse is like the only Gundam in Seed Destiny that I actually like. I particularly liked it with the sword pack and whatnot, because I think the sword pack looks kind of cool, but...
Yeah, let's see. The other kit coming out, we have the Master Grade RX-7802, the Origin.
Yeah, it's already out now.
Yes. That one is beautiful, especially with its giant cannon on its shoulder.
Yes, I do believe it complements it very well. It gives it a little bit of a hint to the RX-78-1 Full Armor Gundam, which I still need as a kit because I don't care how old it is. I love the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
And it seems like this new Origin kit is using the 3.0 frame.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy with because I love the 3.0. My friend built it, and it is just a beautiful kit. So this will probably be the version of First Gundam that I will be getting my hands on because I've been waiting. I was just like, you know what? I need something that is First Gundam that really stands out, and I believe this is the thing that really stands out for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
I already have the Revive version of the RX-78, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, the Origin Gundam looks pretty good too. But I don't. My biggest problem is always shelf space, and money. I always have trouble with both of those things, as well as I have trouble with talking, apparently too.
Don't worry, we all do.
But yeah, I want to get Master Grades. I just don't know where I would put them. I don't really have the shelf space in my room to put them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to at some point, but if I buy a Master Grade, it has to be from a kit that I really, really want, and I'm okay with purchasing.
Yeah, I've honestly switched over to just buying exclusively Master Grades for the sheer purpose of I was like, oh man, I want all the ones I want, and then it really came down to I have other personal expenses. So if I'm going to go out and buy these kits, I need to just stick with the ones I really like. And despite how old it is, despite the problems I've seen, because there was a YouTuber, his name is Robert 184.
Yeah.
Like this. He's no longer around.
Yeah.
But he did a review of the Master Grade GPO2.
What happened to him?
I don't know what happened to our Robert, actually, to be honest. He was back for a little while. He was showing, like...
Ninja reviews, and then Ninja got stupid.
What?
Oh, he was doing reviews of the Ninja toy line. He did like a third of it, and then he went away.
Yeah.
And then Ninja got really, really, really stupid, and everybody gave up on it.
Interesting.
But yeah, he made a review of the RX... the GPO2 Master Grade.
Yeah.
And showed that this thing is old, it's not very good, but it looks good. You just can't play with it. And I was just looking, I'm like, man, I don't even care how old this thing is. I'm going to make this thing work.
Yeah, there has to be ways to modify it so that it might be more updated, or at the very least it'll have better moving
have
parts.
To glue the hand into the shield. You have to really support it. Literally, the feet are held to the ankle by one tiny polycap. That's how old this thing is. I'm not even sure how much of an inner frame this thing has. But I really like the aesthetic of it, and I know with some... I'm probably going to get some decals from Samuel Decal. And do some burn damage around it and whatnot. I think this thing will complement my shelf very well. It's all about playing with it. Hell, I've got a 1/100 no grade Danan Zon in my room.
Do you have the Suzabi Verka?
What?
You have the Suzabi Verka?
It's on my Amazon wish list. I will be getting it, and I need it. Like, my favorite suit is the Sinanju, specifically the Sinanju Stein. So I should have the suit that was, it was developed from.
Yeah. You could always buy the Stein version too.
The Suzabi.
I actually have two Steins.
I like the Suzabi and the Sinanju a lot. I really like the Sinanju more because of that flared collar thing.
It was... Yeah, I like the Sinanju, obviously, because it's my name here and I have things like this, but there was one thing that made me like the Stein more than the Sinanju is that the Sinanju, as much as I like it, is really tacky. But I know that's just for the kind of character that Full Frontal is.
Yeah,
But
the
the
whole
Sinanju Stein bears that whole like bare bones, basic. It just looks like a raw killing machine.
Yeah.
And
just like the Neo Zeon looks like a raw killing machine. At least to
that
me.
thing just looks like a fortress of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with Fortress of
That's
Death.
why I want the HG, but I don't know where the hell to put it.
You wouldn't have room.
I saw someone who built. I'm going to use another big kit. I saw someone who built the 144 Dendromium and had to put it on top of their fridge.
I don't know if I have room on top of my fridge. Or if my mother would like that on top of the fridge at the new
Honey, can you please move your model? I'm trying to get the ice cream.
Yeah.
Honestly, just go with the 1/500 scale. It's a decent kit. Same thing with the new Azel. They're not bad.
I kind of want... There was one point when I wanted to get the high grade of the Kshatriya.
I have it. It's worth it. It's a sturdy kit.
Yeah. I don't want the repair. I don't like the repair version very much.
No, the repair is...
either of the 00 or the Kshatriya.
Oh. Let's see. What other kits... I know they announced the master grade of the a new master grade for the Freedom. Yeah. I have the RG version of Freedom. I don't need another Freedom. I'm good.
They just released a version of the Freedom.
What?
Wait, am I thinking of the Free? Didn't they just? Oh crap! I'm thinking of the different Gundam. Right?
I think you're thinking of Strike Freedom.
Yeah.
Because it got a new kit, I think about a year or so ago.
I thought the Freedom got one in the Revive line.
Yeah, he got it. They have the new HG for that one. But the old seed kits have problems, especially with the molding and their sizes. Their sizes are off, especially for even the remastered versions. They're incredibly small in comparison to other HG kits, especially current ones. So,
I just don't like the back. My main problem with most of the seed ones is the backpack.
yeah.
Except for... Which one was the one with, like, the big, spiky one that had all the funnels and all that? It's, like, the only one I like because I think it looks badass.
What, Providence?
Yes.
Providence is an interesting suit. I kind of like it too.
The fortress strapped to its back.
Yep, it does. But, let's see.
Most of my knowledge of these things comes from me getting them for free in SDGO, RIP, awesome game.
Yeah. Let's see. What other kits came out? I'm looking for one. Trying to think of what ones I want to get or that I would like to get. I guess getting the Titan version of the Mark II would be cool. Because I don't have a Mark II yet.
Yeah.
You don't want to just go with the master or the real grade, because at that point, if you're going for a 1144 and you're like a detail whore like I am, I would just go for the real grade and then get some water slides. But I'm just speaking about me.
Well, normally also the real grades come with a massively huge sticker sheet anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I go with the water slides, or I just paint them.
Hmm.
I
Well,
usually throw those stickers away. I'm like,
Just like the,
I would have used the stickers and probably like placed them very carefully, and then probably if I could, I need to find a can of like matte finish and then just spray it on. So then
before you put the stickers on, put a layer of gloss.
I'm thinking about asking for the Black TriStar Zaku 2 Origin Customs.
Those are nice.
Mostly because I want to give my a different Gundam that I want, that giant axe that
Yeah, that thing is cool.
I just love oversized weapons in general. I kind of wish that Bandai had the rights to do, like, the Brave series to make new models of them the way they have been making Gundams recently.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Takara owns them. Mostly because I want Gao Gaigar in this new model line. Just so that people can show who the real one is that their drills will pierce the heaven. Yes, I am yes, YouTube. I am saying that Gao Gaigar is superior to
Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh, darn. My brain is completely dead now.
I have another gunpla tip for people.
Oh, cool. Go for it.
Before you do any kind of coating with your kits with a spray can, take your spray cans and submerge them in at least half the can in lukewarm water. That way, when it sprays out, it's not going to come out clumpy. It's not going to have bubbles or little your kit's not going to look gritty. You want this stuff to come out smooth. And also give it a few test sprays to make sure the nozzle is clear of any obstructions. And be sure to obviously go in a waving fashion as not to build it up in one area and be at least 30 centimeters away. And obviously do this outside, proper ventilation. And don't put on too many coats. Just a one coat of gloss, whatever decals you want to put on, and then a coat of dull or another coat of gloss, and you'll be fine.
I've been hand painting.
Spray painting seems to be the best form of actually painting a model kit.
Yeah.
Or just using an airbrush, because that's what my sister and I do.
Yeah. I've considered buying an airbrush, but I don't have the money for it right now.
You can get a really decent one for $50.
Yeah.
I was watching this preview the other day. It was for this really expensive makeup kit that was essentially an overpriced airbrush.
Well, my sister
Have you
uses
actually noticed that a lot of kits, things that we use in modeling, is all beauty products? Because I've actually seen nippers and stuff sold to women too in the makeup aisle. Nippers, sandpaper, sanding cloths.
So if you can't run to the hobby store, you can just run to the women's section, go pick up some stuff while everyone stares at you.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's true.
I actually have a good file because I bought a manicure set purely for making model kits because those were really, really good nail clippers, and I didn't want to pay I didn't want to pay $10 for a pair of nippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta go a little redneck and try and come up with other alternatives to get rid of things.
Yeah, you can model real good for real cheap.
Yep.
Yeah. And I usually file them down really good, and if they don't fit, I just keep going down until there's something really good at getting the nubs. And only time I ever misplaced a sticker was on Char Zaku the Origin, because it doesn't have a little bump for the mono eye. And I put it off by a millimeter maybe.
Don't ask me. I don't know no metric system or measuring.
I don't know. I didn't put it off by much.
Yeah.
Now there is something else I want to discuss.
What's that?
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
Oh, what was I saying? I was saying I miss having all my kits out so I could just look at them. But I'll be moved in. We'll start moving it. My mom has off on the 2nd. That's when she finally gets off for once, and then we can start moving, hopefully.
Uh,
There you go.
Then I'll be out of a damned hotel. I'm gonna have to get a mattress.
okay, what were you going to say, Sananju?
Well, I assume that we have all seen, and if not, go watch it, the trailer for Gundam Thunderbolt.
I think I saw the preview one. I think I saw one of them. Yeah, I think I saw it. It was probably like about a week or so ago, but I did see it.
Yeah, it's only like a minute-long teaser.
Yeah, I know they were playing a lot of jazz music because that's a big thing in there, and some really interesting stuff.
So, I guess at the expo, they were showing the kits off again for the,
yeah.
all these things for Thunderbolt, but they had a section closed away, and the guy who was watching the thing was said, yeah, they're pretty much releasing master grades of all these. And I just went, need, because I need all those as master grades.
Okay.
I love the designs. I love how
Thunderbolt
joints, it looks
anime
like bags.
trailer.
Looks so cool.
Yeah. Why don't you watch the trailer in silence? Or we can listen to it right now. I hope this music isn't copyrighted.
I was about to say, we might get content ID flagged.
I hope not.
Oops.
So yeah, it looks like we're going to get master grades of those at some point in the future, which is good because I was honestly going to shell out for the high grades, but now it's like, why even bother? Unless they don't make a master grade of the Zaku with the big gun, because I'd love to make that.
The Zaku 1 with the large rifle.
2 with the big gun.
Was it a Zaku 2?
Really just called that Zaku 2 with big gun.
Huh. Well, I know they had the Zaku 2 with the red Zaku 2.
Oh, the Psycho Zaku.
Yeah, they had that one. I know there's a Zaku 1 with a... Oh, wait, no, you're right. There is a Zaku 2 with a large rifle. Or
that one is absolutely amazing looking.
Despite my least favorite color being red, I really like the look of any like red mobile suit.
Yeah.
Just because robots don't. Just because to me, I like green, but for whatever reason, I just don't like my giant robots painted green.
Interesting. Yeah, there were a lot of different kits. The Cubula is getting a revive, which it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the old HD version of it was like, but one with newer mechanics would be nice.
Coming from someone who had it, I'll say this much. The binders on the shoulders, the back ones tend to fall down eventually unless you do something with glue with them. But after looking over the Revive one, to be honest with you, it does not look that much different.
No.
Like, at all.
They may
really honestly go both ways and still get your money's worth.
Probably.
I don't think I think the Revive line has been the best. Apparently the best we've had in like years for high grade.
It's an attempt to... I think Revive is more or less taking older kits that were made like in the early 2000s with the old... They had old mechanics. Some of the molds weren't that good. Taking those and making new versions with some of the newer mechanics.
I thought I turned you on vibrate. Because that's copyrighted.
Darn it.
See, I turned my phone off before the show.
So did I.
Yes.
I was...
Once and I thought I had turned it down.
The one thing I'm trying to think of... it's something for another time. Well, not really, but... It's model kit related, but I think we should move on to something else. We've been on the expo for talking about model kits and stuff for a while.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
You just cut off mid-sentence.
You didn't.
went silent for a little bit.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah, like we're fine now. It probably just a little bit of a hiccup in the connection.
Probably. Those can happen.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
So
Yeah,
you
sure.
wanna
Blame my
talk
West Coast
about
internet.
Jimmy Kimmel Live?
East
No.
Coast internet master race.
Jerks! How dare
People.
How dare you have better internet than me?
I don't even know what I have here. I think I have DirecTV internet and it works okay.
I have the choice of 5 different providers in my area. So good.
I have
Oh,
I could have gotten Cox Cable or
You said cable.
I have
told my
cable,
mom
you
that
jerk.
Cox Cable actually sucks and people tell me this. And so did and I told her never to get what was it?
Comcast.
Yes. Comcast sucks.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna move on from all this other craziness.
Bye Super Robots. We'll talk about Tony Stark again.
Yeah, we'll talk about a different type of machine. I know that there was the Jimmy Kimmel thing, but I actually saw the trailer for the Captain America Civil War thing. It just randomly popped up while I was searching YouTube. I'm like, what is this? Really? It came out this early? Click, I want to watch it. So, I think we should give our general thoughts on it, at least for those of us who are, big fans of Marvel movies and whatnot. I don't know about you, Sananju.
I enjoy them.
Okay. Well, that's good.
My first reaction is, okay, this seems to be, from what I've seen, it seems to be Captain America is on the run yet again.
He did a lot of that in the second movie, actually.
It's like, oh no! Everybody in the world knows who you are, that you're really Steve Rogers, but you don't want people to know that.
Well, that was the entire premise of Civil War.
I know, but he was fighting for everybody else. And in this, he knows, like, all the established superheroes, at least on Earth.
Yeah.
Because they haven't stated whether there's, like, Spider-Man and...
He's coming. He'll be in that movie, actually, so...
Yeah. Okay, if they do this, and they make one more day the plot of the next Spider-Man movie, I am going to boycott
No.
all Marvel movies for the rest of my life.
No, they're not doing that. We've already known, and they've already established who's going to be playing Spider-Man, and they're going for a younger one. He's going to be a teenager when the movie starts, and they're going to keep him in high school for as long as they can, apparently. Well, his high school years were some of the best parts of his written stories.
I know, but there's only a certain amount of time you can be high school Peter Parker in a movie. I understand.
Well, in the last...
Ultimate Spider-Man doing it.
They did the last few movies have been... For Spider-Man, he was in high school for like maybe one movie, and then they moved him out to college. So
Yeah,
they're going to
and
keep
this
him
one,
in
he
high
was
school.
He was going to graduate in the next movie.
He already did He in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he did graduate. He was already graduated.
I thought he graduated like towards like the end of the movie.
Beginning of the movie, when he was. That's beside the point.
I haven't seen the. I marked that day that I saw that movie with like failure because I failed my test that day.
Okay. But the Civil War movie. Sananju, what's your general thoughts on the trailer?
I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's going to be just like Marvel's not disappointed me anything that's come out of their studio. So I know I'm not going to be disappointed with the movie. I feel like I'm going to be thoroughly enjoyed with what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not super heavily invested in Marvel in general.
Yeah.
I'm a casual fan of what they do. So I believe this will be good. Nothing really shocked me or surprised me.
What?
If they kill Steve Rogers off, who do you think they're going to have replace Captain America? Bucky or the Falcon, as he has been in
Falcon because that's what they're going with in the books, but I don't think they're going to kill him off. I don't think that they would because he's such a quintessential character, and
he only has
it's money.
2 more movies, I think.
Yeah, that's the reason why he won't die. They can't kill him off because of the contract. They could make Captain America go underground, basically, like, like Fury, and basically only show up every once in a while. But he will be in the next few movies, the next Avengers movies. He is going to be there, as well as Chris Hemsworth, and
this is going to be Avengers 2.5.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were talking about, because there's going to basically be a good majority of the heroes are going to make it into the movie. Ant-Man is supposed to be in the movie at some point. I don't know when.
Which I still haven't seen that movie.
You should. It's one of the best Marvel movies I've seen to date.
I want to see the Thomas the Tank Engine scene. That's like the only scene I'm hyped for.
There are much better scenes. The whole movie was entertaining. And I think it was better than Age of Ultron, to be honest.
Does
I
he
liked it
actually
more.
talk to ants in the movie? Like
Of course he does.
Comic?
Of course he does. He always talks to ants. He's Ant-Man. He has to talk to ants.
As long as they're going with this character, this idea is silly, we're gonna keep it silly and not go super serious.
That's what they did with that movie. They chose to go silly because they know how ridiculous it is to have somebody who is, able to shrink to the size of an ant and hang out with ants for a good majority of his day.
The powers that radiation can do in the Marvel universe. It's almost amazing they don't sell radiation in the strip.
These are subatomic particles. It's not radiation.
Oh, it's talking about Spider-Man and the Hulk.
Yeah, but I thought we were talking about Ant-Man. Therefore, it's like that involves subatomic particles.
Pym particles, I think.
Yeah, it involves
Pym particles. Because I didn't think Hank Pym was this.
Hank Pym was the one who discovered them, so they're named after him. But, let's see. The movie looked like... it was what Magnus was saying. Or to some extent. That this seems to be more focused on...
Action?
Well, no. No, the thing you were talking about with Captain America... The original Civil War story was that he was focused on trying to help every superhero who didn't want to register.
This seems to just be focused on him helping Bucky.
Yeah. Bucky is an assassin, so... And with S.H.I.E.L.D. pretty much gone and the government probably wanting... Well, they want to... they literally called Cap in the movie a vigilante, or one of the guys at one of the government offices calling him just a straight-up vigilante, and that they need to be, monitored and controlled by the government. Steve's not going to go with that, of course.
What's your actual opinion on this? Because even Heroes Reborn has been doing this recently. I want to know your guys' honest opinions on superhuman registration, on whether or not ours should be watched by people.
Government surveillance.
Yeah. That's already a real thing. But...
Well, let's see. Considering I'm a big fan of the Civil War comic itself. It was my first comic book event that I ever read when it was first announced. Yes. And I read through the entire thing. That and also Batman Battle for the Cowl, but that's another story. The whole premise and the reason why it happened, I thought it was a really cool idea, but the problem with it was execution. The story itself is fine. I wouldn't really change anything. It's what happens afterwards.
I'm like,
After a while, Marvel pretty much just simply, the comic books just phased it out entirely. It never existed, especially after Dark Reign and whatnot. It pretty much it's non-existent. It doesn't exist after that. After Siege and
canon now.
The Superhuman Registration Act, which was law, just disappeared. All superheroes who were not, registered with the government should have kept on hunting them. But then Marvel realized that, I guess nobody really wanted that type of story anymore. So they just slowly but surely phased it out to make it as if it didn't happen. It lasted it lasted roughly a year. And then Secret Invasion happened. The Skrulls invaded, and everything went pretty much to crap. So, Superhuman Registration no longer mattered.
Which, the Skrulls are part of the Fantastic Four canon, right?
Yes.
So they can't do Secret Invasion for an Avengers movie because
they can.
Fox is a bunch of dicks.
They can.
They can?
It was already... Fox and Marvel are in talks, or they were in talks. It sounds like Fox gave up the rights to the Fantastic Four.
Because
the movie was that bad.
Use the Fantastic Four anymore.
The Fantastic Four movie was so terrible, there's no way that they could ever recover their losses on that one.
Oh, yeah, that movie sucked.
Yeah, when your movie gets a lower rating than The Room, you messed up.
That is so true. But...
you can say it's at least better than Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
I have no idea what that is.
I have never even heard of that.
Don't know. I don't know. But this... Let's see. The Civil War... The movie looks like it'll be... Of course, it's going to be a smaller cast of characters. There will be a lot of guys that aren't going to show up in it. Hulk's not going to be there, of course, and neither is Thor.
Well, that's because Hulk and Thor are going to be in the third Thor movie.
Yeah, that seems to be what's going to happen.
Dead. Wasn't Thor dead by that time in the comics, anyways?
Yeah, he was. He was dead. Ragnarok happened, and all the Asgardians were dead.
Why don't they just have Thor 3 happen before Civil War?
Well, there was a Thor in Civil War. He just wasn't the real one. He was he was a robot, or, a cyborg mixed with Asgardian DNA. And
I'm going to get mad if they don't put Beta Ray Bill in the third Hulk movie.
Yes.
Third Thor movie.
Yeah.
He's either going to be in the Thor movie, or he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he's
that
such
could work.
A cool character.
That could
Your
work.
Ship's name is Scuttlebutt. That's awesome.
Yes, he is. What was I thinking? I don't know. I don't think a lot of the, traitorous betrayals and whatnot that happened in the comics is going to happen in this movie. A lot.
No,
It's going to focus. It's going to focus a lot more on Tony and Cap.
America having a dick size contest.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much, I guess, what the movie would be.
As long as they drop that stupid language nonsense. That was funny maybe about 3 times in the Avengers 2.
Yeah. That joke did run a bit long. It was like, okay. It was funny the first few times.
I hope Vision's at least going to be in this movie, because
He might be. I don't know if he's going to be. The one thing that the trailer didn't show was actually who was going to be one of the actual bad guys in it. Crossbones did not show up in the trailer at all.
Are they doing are they actually bringing in the Thunderbolts?
I don't know. I was just saying that...
one of the Thunderbolts?
No. Crossbones is an enemy that Cap has had for a long time, and he was in the second Captain America movie. He was one of those S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that was actually a Hydra agent who got his butt kicked by Falcon.
Zemo was like the lamest in that movie.
Yeah, he was. That was disappointing.
Baron Zemo is like the
Supposed to be
Okay.
better.
If you can't do Baron Zemo right, you at least have to have an Iron Man villain. Make it be MODOK. Because you didn't do, and do him right, you didn't do Mandarin right.
No. Although they did hint that whole weird thing in one of their bonus footages with the guy who pretended to be Mandarin. And apparently Associates of the Ten Rings actually showed up and talked to him, and it's like he would like to have a word with you and what you've done.
Oh, so there is a real Mandarin.
Yeah, we just probably will never see him at this point.
Because there's not going to be an Iron Man 4?
Yeah, because Robert Downey Jr. is reaching the end of his contracts. They had to re-sign him just so they could have him in Avengers 2 and in the Civil War movie.
Wouldn't keep doing this, just be like, okay, just keep paying me, and I'll keep doing it. I don't have to be in a contract.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Robert Downey Jr., do you like money? Do this.
Yeah. It was... The trailer was a little bit on the exciting side, but I don't know what's going to happen.
But kind of felt like just a summer movie trailer where they're just like,
Yeah.
big and...
Well, it's going to be a summer movie, so it's going to be like that. We're not going to get that surprised.
Like, I'm kind of bored with these trailers because the hype train for Star Wars 7 is so real right now that it just blows everything else out of the water.
That's true. It is interesting that they would release this trailer now and not wait like maybe another month or so.
Yeah. Be like, here, Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars. Here you go.
Oh.
What's your opinion on the hype for Episode 7, Sanju?
I think it's warranted considering that Star Wars is probably the most important film franchise in history.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're going with this, but me personally, I'm gonna wait a while. You know, I like Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a huge fan of it, so when I do get around to seeing it, I will.
I'm like, they're overhyping this movie. They're like making everything. They made a Google trailer featuring Star Wars.
It should be interesting.
And jewelry.
Yeah. Well, it's a marketing monster. They have to market it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's hope it lives up to the hype that they're putting behind it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
that was a lot of money they threw away. But
Yeah.
if they're hyping up this much, they must be confident
Well,
that the film is good.
It's a whole new trilogy. There's rumors. Oh, wait. I'm going to say this because there's rumors that Han is finally going to die.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He's been wanting his character to die forever. People keep saying that Luke is the villain, which I'm going to disagree with.
Yeah, the villain's name is Kylo Ren. Or Kel Ren?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, yeah.
They're saying that Kylo Ren and Luke are the one and the same, or that's his son. I'm like, wow, that would be.
The only way I could see that being
Then
possible
again,
is
he
if
had
the
a
spirit of
son
Vader
in the
possessed him.
books.
What'd you say, Sananju?
I can only see that being possible if the spirit of Vader possessed his own son.
Which Vader in the end wasn't a bad guy.
Well, I know that they showed in the trailers like Kylo Ren looking at the burnt skull of Vader and whatnot.
Where the hell did he go to get that? I just
Endor? It's not that hard.
Did they not bury the body or?
Luke gave him the old, similar to a Viking burial. He just burned the body and then left it. He didn't. I don't think he went and buried it and put a tombstone there saying, "Here lies Darth Vader," or "Here lies Anakin Skywalker." I don't think he did that. Well, at least they never said he did that. So, or even if they did bury the body, these guys from the First Order could have just swooped in and unburied the body and took the skull out anyway.
That's creepy.
I mean, nobody's...
Either way, it's creepy as hell.
What did you say, Sinatra? Aside from the fact it's creepy?
I think it's just the helmet.
Yeah, it is just the helmet. They didn't take the whole body, they just took the helmet. Well, it looked like there was a skull in the helmet, but that could just be because the helmet was already skull-like to begin with.
Well, the official story is that Kylo Ren is somebody who was heavily inspired by Vader.
Yeah.
Who really looked up to him. So this could be... It could be somebody who was there before, but honestly, I think it's just a new character. I think this is someone who was just on the sideline who learned the way of the Sith, because this isn't even the Empire anymore. This is called, like, First or something like that. Like
the First Order.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to
They're
say...
just inspired by the Empire. It's basically just, a spiritual successor.
Yeah.
What if the Kylo Ren is actually the true name of the Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels?
I thought that he died.
The problem is that the films, those shows tap into
Rebels
the films.
is canon.
Yes, it is, but the problem is, the situation is that those shows will tap into the films for source material. The movies don't tap into the shows for source material.
Yeah.
They want to keep them linked, but also separate entities, so people who go and see the films won't be like, whoa, 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 what's going on? I don't know who this person is.
Yeah.
And they won't be telling you, oh, we'll watch a series. They don't want to do that because that alienates consumers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The best thing was when Billy D. Williams just showed up and was being Billy and was just being Lando. And everybody hated him because Billy D. Williams is like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I do remember. Well, this whole thing about Luke potentially being the villain, I could see it happening because I actually did have a comic book, which was also an adaptation from a novel, where Luke did explore the dark side because he wanted to know what possessed his father to do it. He wanted a better understanding.
And then and that's where Mara Jade came from. Mara Jade and Luke both came from the dark side.
Well, Luke didn't come from the dark side, but he explored it, and it ended up being his sister that went and saved him from going too far into that particular abyss. Yeah, Princess Leia actually showing up with a freaking lightsaber and actually dueling her brother, which I thought was pretty cool. Unfortunately, all these stories are now not canon.
Mostly because if the Usan Vong War, which is about where they would be at this point, Chewie dies.
Yeah.
In the greatest way possible, too. Chewie dies fulfilling the life debt that he has to Han.
Yeah.
That's the main reason Han and Chewie are friends.
Yeah.
Because of life debt. Because unless it's non-canon now, that Han Solo used to be an Imperial Scout and all that.
Yeah, none of the expanded universe matters anymore.
Which stinks. That also means that Knights of the Old Republic didn't happen either.
That also means that I believe that Boba Fett is dead.
Yeah. Which makes me sad.
No, they've announced that Boba Fett's getting his own movie.
Yeah, that's true. They are talking about bringing him back, but they haven't explained how. For all we know...
Right, fair enough, then.
I mean, it could just be background story for him. For all we know, it could just be him going through some of his past adventures, opposed to any future ones.
It didn't be hey, everything's non-canon except for the holiday special. Yeah, that's canon now.
Star Wars has such a selective canon thing. At this point, I'm just yo, if you wanted to consider that part of the story, go right ahead, man.
Yeah, I would like to think of parts of Knights of the Old Republic and whatnot. They had a really cool comic book series. I don't have all of it. I only have 2 volumes of it, but it was a pretty cool comic book.
It really should be because Darth Revan is a character.
Yeah, Darth Revan is awesome. And if you were to do, if Disney ever wanted to like explore that, or take that idea, and then
They should do a Darth Bane film first.
I don't know who that is.
Darth Bane is the one who founded the Sith Order as we know it in the movies.
Oh.
He's the one who he created the rule of two.
Oh. I would prefer the Darth Revan story, especially talking about him before he became Revan. Because the comic book explored it. Well, it was even before Revan was even a thing. It was during the Mandalorian War. And this group of Jedis in the council decided that one of them saw a vision of the future where all of them die in like a horrible war conflict, and they find out that one of their Padawans might be the potential person who does it. So in less than like maybe the first like 2 issues, they just murder all their Padawans all at once because they don't want that horrible tragedy to unfold, except for one. And then he runs, and I think the first volume ends with him literally saying it's like, basically that you guys did this. If I turn to the dark side and I become evil, it's on you. You're the ones who did it. And I thought, I was like, oh my god. This is like the best Star Wars comic ever.
What I would love to see in like movie form is like the actual the spiritual part of it all, like showing how the spiritual aspect of it and the mysticism of it was all founded, and all that within this, as like how the Jedi Order was founded. I want to see a movie about that, and how the Sith and Jedi Order split apart. That would be an amazing film to watch.
It would be. And speaking of Star Wars films, and it's the holidays, I think we all need to sit down and discuss the Star Wars holiday special.
All right, let's review it.
No thanks.
I watched it in its entirety. By the end of it, I probably should have had a pistol in my mouth. So I decided to look into it. And George Lucas has come out and said in an interview, if I could find every last remaining copy of that and destroy it, I would.
Yeah. I think we discussed that before on the podcast before, but I don't remember.
Neither do I, but...
Well, you weren't here. I think it was in one of our first episodes when you hadn't contacted me at that point. But
either way, I saw it. It was horrendous. It was just a lot of Wookiee speak. And it wasn't even good Wookiee speak.
Hey, B. Arthur was in it.
B. Arthur couldn't save that piece of... Yeah. Man, that was bad.
Stir whip.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know it's terrible, so I haven't even bothered. It's the same. It's my same policy with like G Savior. I'm never gonna touch it with a 10-foot pole. I'd rather burn any copy I find of it.
Which is probably good because I can't even find a copy of G Savior.
I found G Savior. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah, well, you can find it on YouTube. I was talking about any physical copies I would burn. I have actually. There was one point. It was like years ago, but I did see an actual physical copy of it, and I didn't know it was bad at the time. I didn't buy it because I didn't have money for it. But I was like, "Oh, look, a Gundam movie! It's a live-action Gundam movie. I didn't even know this was a thing." And now, thanks to the fact that I was broke, I'm thankful I didn't buy it.
Some people have reported seeing it in like dollar stores.
It's glorious, and it's like, if you're a fan of like crappy B movies that totally don't add, if you're a fan of like the Doom movie, or like the only thing worse of an adaptation I can actually give you is like Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah.
Just
Terrible.
because, actually, no, it's been confirmed that the character in there is somehow a descendant of Amuro.
How did Wait.
What?
What?
That's impossible. Amuro never had children.
No, he did.
Petro
did he with,
Chica's
Belta-
children.
whatever her name is, Beltachka.
Beltachka?
Patrick, yeah, that's, I think, I don't remember. It's either Beltatrica's canon or Char's counterattack is canon.
They're both canon.
They're both canon at the same time somehow.
Char's counterattack happens like 7 years after Zeta Gundam.
Beltatrica's children is the original like script for.
Char's counterattack. It's just
Yeah.
the novel version. That's where the High Nu and the Nightingale come from.
Yeah.
Which didn't they? Which I want that 1/100. I don't want that 1/100th Nightingale. Just because it's. I've seen every version and they're all massive and just.
Well, I was a bit confused by this whole thing, actually. I was like, wait, Beltachka? I know that Amuro and her were serious in Zeta. I haven't quite finished Zeta yet. I'm getting there. I'm close. I'm like 2 discs away from finishing. But in the movie that I know that Char's counterattack was, but as far as I know, Beltachka wasn't even in the movie.
No. Because Chan existed in that movie.
Yeah.
But she was in Unicorn.
She was?
Yes, for a little bit. She was talking to Kai.
Oh, I haven't finished Unicorn either. I need to buy like the volumes. I have 2 volumes and I've only seen 4 episodes, so
It was in like episode 2.
I don't remember seeing her in episode 2.
They were in there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Well, someone was also proposing a theory that Amuro was alive, and they showed a picture of him, like a picture of someone who looks an awful lot like him at some point in Unicorn. I'm like, yeah, he looks like Amuro. It doesn't mean it is
They got
Amuro.
transported to another dimension.
Char and Amuro are dead.
Yeah.
We have to establish
Yeah,
they
and
died.
Unicorn makes it confirmed. Killed in action.
Yeah, they aren't alive anymore. And it's even... I mean, everyone was talking about, like, oh, Full Frontal is Char. I'm like, no, he's not, because I played Dynasty Warrior Gundam 3. Full Frontal and Char are in it, and they are not the same person. Also, Full Frontal is not a new type. That's the evidence that I've been using against people who say
he's
that.
a cyber new type.
It doesn't even say he's a cyber new type, even. Although, if he was a cyber new type, it would make more sense. But I just thought he was just a normal guy who was just incredibly talented.
Nope, he's just a clone of Char.
Oh, kind of like one of those things from one of the mangas, actually. They had one where they had Char's clone as
He's a bioengineered cyber new type to bear extreme resemblance to Char and has part of Char's soul.
How do you bind somebody's soul?
I don't know, man. We're dealing with a whole series that revolves around giant robots and then all of a sudden psychic powers out of freaking nowhere. So
Psychic powers connecting you to the afterlife.
there is a possibility in the Universal
makes you-
Century that Char
It
does
makes
have kids.
Oh wait, I'm not gonna say this. So I'll spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil anything for me.
yeah, because
Let's
there's
say
a
what else it
rumor
makes
that
you do, but that would
what's
spoil
his
the
name?
ending of Zeta.
Yeah, shush, Magnus. What were you gonna say, Sinandru?
There's a rumor that the main kid from Victory is
Yeah,
Char's
Uso. Because his mom's name is Nane.
Mhm.
Which means I mean, he's a talented pilot. There is a possibility, but no one has ever confirmed it.
I know that Tomino denied it.
Yeah.
but-
The evidence is pretty strong.
and now freaking Tomino's come out and said that G Reco takes place 500 years after Turn A.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're supposed to take whatever he says at face value? I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I guess the G Lucifer. I know we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked about it
It's
last
best not to go through that again.
week or
Yeah.
before. But
So I mean, it's all. Yeah, I don't know. You really got to make your own decisions on a lot of stuff based on whatever evidence is given. But
Yeah, sometimes headcanon can be good, sometimes it can be just downright stupid, but...
I think headcanon is warranted when there's so many different alternatives that it becomes overly confusing, but with Gundam, it's
pretty cut and dry.
Straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry for the most part when it
wanna
comes to
know
things.
who Camille ended up getting with in the end. And
Camille is brain dead. That I already know.
Not by the end of Double Zeta.
Oh, well, that I'm not sure of. But I know at the end of
if
Zeta.
you know that, then what I was about to say wasn't even going to be a spoiler then.
What, the fight between him and Shirako?
Yes.
I already knew about that. I've played through it. I'm just talking about some of the other stuff in between I've missed.
Apparently using new type abilities, well, getting everybody that you love who's died in your head makes you brain dead for turning into a vegetable for like 12 months. Or however long Zeta was.
Well, actually, it was more of just him himself being a new type, overloading his system.
Yeah.
It just short-circuited his brain.
Camille is canonically the most powerful new type, right?
No. Canonly, I think Judo is stronger than he is. Or at least somebody put up a list.
I didn't think Judo was a new type.
He is. He's a lot... Yep. And he's stronger, too, I think.
Yeah.
Mentally. Because, I mean, I think Camille would be the strongest if it wasn't for the fact that he went, turned into a vegetable for a while. Yeah. And went into a coma. If it wasn't for that, he probably would be the strongest. But at this point in time...
He never went into a coma. He became catatonic.
Yeah, which is pretty bad. He can't even respond or anything.
He basically became mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible thing. I mean...
Yeah.
The main purpose is why a new translation was made. It's like, okay, everyone whose that ending was too sad, like here's this better ending. There you go. It's like, yeah, you kind of read out Double Zeta entirely with that, but yeah, whatever.
Wait,
to watch the original show.
Wrote a new translation. Did Tomino actually write a new translation?
No.
No, that was just the Zeta Gundam movies that changed the ending.
Yeah. But that again, like that change makes Double Zeta like out of the story, but
makes it unnecessary.
Just take the title for what it is, a new translation. It's literally just a different version of events.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, Double Zeta Gundam was sad, but that was bad. That was Sunrise interfering with him.
No.
Well, same thing with Victory.
What? Well, yeah, they kept on interfering with his stuff, so he just like, okay, you want to interfere with my thing? I'm going to interfere with yours and make it the most depressing thing I can possibly do. Which making Victory Gundam having the biggest kill ratio for characters in any Gundam series. Even more than Zeta. A lot of people die in Zeta Gundam.
Actually, that's one thing that makes me like Zeta so much is because... You have to really pull that George R.R. Martin and not be afraid to kill off important characters when it warrants it.
Right.
And I think that adds a level of depth that there is no plot armor.
Yeah, definitely.
So, which makes me appreciate the story a lot more.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. Someone else pick up where I was talking. I don't know what I was doing.
Okay, well, actually, I was going to do this because I thought this would be a fun little thing to do. I did this before with some friends of mine when playing, like,
We're
Gundam
not playing
Breaker.
Spin the Bottle, are we?
No, we're not playing Spin the Bottle.
Damn it.
No, when we were playing Gundam Breaker 2, someone brought this question up. I can't remember who it was. They'll have to forgive me if they are subscribed to the channel. But he asked the question to a friend... What Gundam pilot would you be in any, universe and whatnot? It could be like a, foot soldier, a commander, or, one of the main protagonists. Anything of that nature. He was talking to a friend, and his friend's response was, he'd be the guy who dies in, like, the first, like, few minutes of the movie in, like, the opening sequence where you see a pilot get shot down.
So does it have to be a pilot?
At that point.
What'd you say, Sinanju?
Does it have to be a pilot?
It doesn't have to be a particular pilot, particularly. It's just the type of person, like if you were to like maybe write your own story or anything, or if you were to put yourself in a certain position, who would you want to be?
I'll tell you right now what I would be.
Okay.
Test pilot and mechanic for Anaheim Electronics.
That's a good choice.
Yes.
Essentially, that's sort of similar to what I do already at work, so it's probably something I feel more comfortable. Like, hey, let me test this machine for you. All right, let me do the repairs on it. All right, go out there and die.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Plus, the Sinanju Stein, my favorite mobile suit, is from Anaheim Electronics.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be working on testing that thing.
Yeah. Okay, Mega Supreme, what pilot would you be?
I definitely work for Anaheim Electronics. And really, what I'd be doing is I'd be the designer.
Ah. These are interesting questions. These are good ones, actually. Because normally, mostly, what everyone says is like, oh, I'd want to be the commander, or I'd want to be the main protagonist of the series, or something to that nature.
Think of the health insurance and all the other benefits of working for a multi-billion-dollar corporation like that. You got to think of
Multi-quadrillion.
Yeah.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Can you imagine of the benefits you'd be getting working for that? That's where the money is. That's where my mind is.
Probably like quadrillion, or it's probably septillion.
Yeah, but even still, can you imagine how much your workers must be getting paid? I mean, they must be extremely well off, and you'd have all your kids being taken care of. Like, if you really factor in economics in that, there's no better company to work for. Hell, I bet they even have their own credit cards.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Anaheim would be a good place to work for because they work for both sides. They have no real side in the war.
Anaheim Electronics also probably makes cell phones.
Probably. They're probably
They probably make everything.
They are a massive conglomerate.
Yeah, they make everything for Earth and the colonies.
Yeah, essentially, they're like the Samsung in outer space. But yeah, no, that's what I would do, because I mean, it's just I think that would be cool, especially Anaheim is a side of neutrality. They're simply a business, and I know that was criticized in the movie, like, oh, they'll make Federation and Xeons. It's like, yeah, they found a market and used it.
They make money. That's what they're there for.
And they stayed afloat through most of, like, even towards the late Universal century. They were still in business. Eventually, they fell apart due to financial instability, but it still shows that, hey, there's going to be war. We're simply providing what you guys need, but we don't take a stance on it. Yeah. Whatever you guys do, we are simply providing. It's supply and demand.
Yeah.
And that's all I'd be doing. Plus, you get to test out these cool mobile suits. You get to see what's going on. And test new, because they also weren't always doing war stuff. They were also doing there was commercial things that they were doing too. So I was actually thinking about hopping on Redbubble and getting myself an Anaheim Electronics hoodie. Huh. It doesn't look like you'd be wearing a total weeaboo-ish hoodie, and you'd just be walking down with this big AE on it, and people will think like, oh, Anaheim Electronics. They will probably not know what it is, but probably like, oh, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just like the logo, so there you go.
I'd like to get a jacket or something that looks like a Federation or Xeon jacket, but I cannot find one in my size, so...
How do you think I feel?
I don't know. Probably just as bad as me.
Probably even more so, dude. I wear a 2XL.
Same for me.
There you go. It's worse for me because how tall I am. I'm 6'5".
Yep.
So
you'd probably have to make it yourself.
Yeah, that
could be done.
Let me tell you this then. Don't you hate it when you go down to the store and buy a shirt in a bigger size and it's wider instead of longer?
Ooh. Considering that I'm only like 5'11", I'm not overly tall like you were saying, so I don't normally run into that particular problem very often, but it does happen every once in a while.
Yeah, it's like this thing like, oh, they want to go up in size, then you have to look around and be like, oh, and I look around and like, okay, do you make this in a 2X tall? And which is very hard for me to find, but I've switched over to wearing almost exclusively Dickies work shirts. Yeah, and they do make 2X talls. So I'm pretty set on when it comes to clothes now, but for a long time, like T-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, that makes it really hard to shop for unless you want to get those bigger sizes that make you look like a bowling ball.
Well, you always could. Well, do Do you know how to use a sewing machine?
No, I do not.
You know what the funny thing is, though? At my last job, there were sewing machines, and I learned how to do everything in the entire company except sew.
Oh, no.
I'm like the only
now
one who knows
now
how to use a sewing machine. I learned how to use a sewing machine in home ec.
Oh, I didn't have home ec. It was available,
all
but...
they taught us how to do was make cookies. Which, given, were pretty good.
Well, yeah. There was a home economics class. I just never took it because it was one of those... It wasn't, a necessity. It was just something that you could do. And I chose not to because I was more interested in doing art and whatnot. I was like, if I'm going to be taking, these other classes and whatnot, I want it to be stuff that I want to do, like art, creative writing, things of that nature. So,
yeah. No, I understand.
I probably should have taken it, though.
And I had my pencil in my hand. Now, I had just sharpened this really, really sharp. And I slip on the floor. Where do you think the pencil went?
I don't know.
Deep into my hand.
Ow. Ooh. That's painful. This happened in home ec or something?
Yeah, this happened in like 6th grade.
Wow.
I still got the cool scar on my palm.
Yeah. Well, let's see. For me, when it comes to like what person I'd want to be, it's a toss-up for me. I'd like to be like a commander of like a small battalion, or I'd want to be the guy with the mask. I'd like to be like one of the shark clones or something.
St. Andrew and I can be sitting, working on making a mobile suit together.
Yeah.
Going home on in the colony, having a couple brews after work.
Yeah, exactly. Why worry about anything? Plus, hell, maybe they even have because there's work so constantly. They might have apartments set up on site.
Yeah.
Your rent would simply be taken right out of your check.
Right.
They would probably have that's something you have to think of for such a large conglomerate like that. They might already have their workers and everything fully taken care of.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, damn, can you imagine the vacation time you get working for a time like that? Shit, I bet you could probably take like a month off at a time.
Probably.
That's a good life, man.
For, like, one of
But
their,
let's...
engineers or head designers.
There is one... I think there would potentially be one downside for you guys is... Well, the downside if I was a commander, there's the possibility I'd probably die, but...
Or cannon fodder.
I could end up being cannon fodder. Well, if I was like the shark clone or something, I could end up dying in some horrible tragedy of some sort. But for you guys, there's the potential that you could, if you guys were like working on site and, the enemy pilots came in and stole your guys' work. There's two things that could happen. You could end up being kidnapped by the enemy or by somebody to work for them exclusively, or you could end up getting shot.
You mean like the Titans did?
Exactly. That is the one potential concern. That would be my worry about doing a job like that. Sure, it's safe. It probably has lots of money and good benefits, but what happens if the enemy decides to hop in and, gun you down because you have a cool new prototype?
Corporation like that, and they're purchasing their artillery from you. Don't bite the hand that feeds.
Well, let's remember that the Sinanju was stolen from Anaheim.
Because they went undercover as workers there and stole it.
Yeah.
So they didn't kill anybody acquiring it. They're like, okay, they're like, okay, we're going to test flight this, and just took off.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how I haven't gotten to the point where it explains how they stole it. They just said that it was just stolen.
They explained that in the PS3 game.
Oh.
So it's all in kanji. So, but
darn it.
it explained it a little bit online. You can just read the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like the Sinanju Stein. That's like one of the like white, like completely white suits almost that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because really, as long as you don't include light purple in your white, I like it. because I don't like light purple in like most suits.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like even then, it's just an aesthetic choice. Like I have a second model of the Sinanju Stein that I'm waiting because I'm going to paint it over it with it's going to be gunmetal and titanium colored.
Ooh.
Have that very dark, menacing look with like orange eyes and some like certain orange accents throughout, and maybe some caution labels on it.
Huh.
So that's one thing I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Regardless, yeah, like any smart military would never mess with their supplier.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's just like if they're the ones manufacturing the weapon, they probably have a lot of defense.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Like really, we would probably have a. Didn't Anaheim Electronics invent the anti-colony laser?
yes, it did.
Which, that's one thing that I would have not been a part of. I would have refused.
And a simple thing like, let's say some Xeon or Federation representatives go into the company, they're going to say, hey, we know you make weapons for our opposing faction. We'd like you not to. It's like, no. Like, you can't tell us not to, or we can drop you as a client entirely. Good luck winning this war.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Like, yeah, exactly. It all comes down to business. Like, you cannot dictate who we do business with. It's like, oh, we'll use force against you. It's like, listen, we're the ones supplying all your weapons. We can do full cold turkey on you, and we can fight you right back.
Don't make them better suits than ours, then, please.
Exactly. It's just like, it's like they literally just do whatever they
to purposely let the faults go through these Zakus, or let some fault the wiring. Like, here, I'll give you extra money to let some faulty wiring go through in these GMs here.
Yeah, I'm sure there was probably talks like that, like, oh, we'll pay you this much, and but clearly, as we saw, that wasn't necessarily the issue.
Yeah.
But of course, like the Federation probably had workers and whatnot, because was the Gundam designed by Anaheim? I know that the new Gundam was.
Yeah, I don't know if the original Gundam was built by them.
No, I think it was designed by the Federation.
Yeah, because I don't think Anaheim existed until Zeta Gundam. Yeah, or wait, no, they existed before that, but they didn't start showing up in the canon until, like, Stardust Memory, which is like 3 years later. So...
Yeah, so the Federation probably had their own designers and engineers, mechanical engineers, working on that. And they had their own thing, and I guess the either rights to the technology or a similar technology was reproduced by Anaheim, as we saw that later mobile suits were made with Gundarium alloy as well, depending on who was willing to pay for it. However, that's why those mobile suits that had Gundarium alloy were simply prototypes, because of how expensive it is to produce, and why things like the Mark II and such did not have any kind of special coating, that it was simply a titanium ceramic composite.
Right.
I know my shit.
Clearly you do.
Yes.
I think we're gonna stop the podcast. We're almost to 2 hours. Not quite, but we're gonna stop and whatnot. But we'd like to thank you guys all for watching. Yeah, and enjoying this fun that we always have every week.
Of course.
Yeah, well, not just to you guys, but also to the audience themselves that watch. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Please, you need to, of course, share, leave likes, comments. Actually, comment down below which pilot you or person in in any Gundam universe you would be. It'd be cool to see what you guys come up with, because these two gentlemen here came up with pretty good ones, actually. So,
yeah,
those were unique ones. I don't think I've heard before. So, yeah, share, like, subscribe to this channel for more fun, more Gundam, more whatever I can come up with.
Here's detective.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.